My business partner and I have been watching you from our apartment on Baker Street. Your sister has a gift. She can see things normal people cannot.
Hi guys, I'm Meaghan Darwish from TV Insider. It's so nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, first off, congrats on the show. I enjoyed watching it. I watched every episode.
Some strange things have been happening recently.
221B Baker Street. Sherlock Holmes. What do you think happened to him?
Sherlock Holmes doesn't exist anymore.
What the hell have you got us involved in?
Who do you play in the show, and what should people know about your characters heading into the series?
I'm Darcy, and I play Jessie in The Irregulars. And Jessie is Bee's younger sister. And when we first meet Jessie, we get the impression that she might be sick, or she's having these really horrific nightmares where she's getting terrorized by these kind of demonic figures, and we don't really know what it is, and she doesn't really know what it is. And I think that feeling of not being in control of yourself is quite scary. So she is in this quite dark place when we first meet her. But yeah, as the series kind of goes on, we kind of see that maybe she might have something that could help the other guys in investigating these crimes that Dr. Watson comes and proposes that they could help him with.
I play a character called Leo, who is Leopold, which is Queen Victoria's youngest son. So he's also a prince as well. And Leo's been mainly kept in the palace for most of his life due to some sort of underlying health conditions that you find out about later in the series. And for his sort of 17th birthday wish, he wants to go and experience London and just sort of meet people his own age. He's never had that luxury before, never had any sort of friendships inside the palace. And it's on that first outing that he encounters the other irregulars, and he sees how close they all are with each other and the relationships that they share. And he just wants to be a part of it and hopefully offer up his world of reading books and knowledge is power. So he tries and helps out with that.
I play Bee, who is the leader of our little gang, and she is very headstrong and confident and self-assured. And I think actually probably her best quality is that I feel like Bee is someone that you just feel safe around, that no matter the situation, it's like, it's okay, she's beside you. And I think her driving force through the entire series is her little sister, Jessie, who she's had to kind of look after since Bee was 3 and Jessie was a baby when their mother died. So Bee's had to step into that role, and she would do anything to protect her and to look after her. So when Jessie's having these nightmares, Bee thinks, right, we need to get her to a doctor. We need to get her some medical help. But to do that, they need to get money, which they don't have. So when this elusive man in a graveyard says, if you come and work for me, I'll give you money, Bee says yes out of necessity. And that's kind of how we are introduced to Watson and start that kind of relationship and journey.
Yes, and this is very heavily steeped in the Sherlock Holmes canon and world, but it takes its own spin on things. So I wanted to know, how will fans of Sherlock see those mysteries reflected throughout the season, and maybe how they can expect to see them be altered or kind of modernized for this more supernatural take on things?
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's a very different Sherlock to the ones that we've seen before. When we first encounter Sherlock in this series, he's at the lowest of the low. He's like a shell of a man he once was. He can't solve the mysteries he once could. And his business partner, Dr. Watson, really turns to the irregulars out of necessity. And he needs people sort of to be on the ground, to be able to converse with people in Victorian London, and basically passing all the blame and the shift onto these guys. And it's amazing because it's a story that we haven't seen before, and it focuses on these characters that we really don't know anything about. And for the Sherlock fans, it's going to be interesting to watch because there are these iconic characters that you've seen before, the iconic storylines, the villains, that kind of thing. But the main focus is on these 5 kids and sort of the relationships and storylines that they go through. And I think that's really sort of a unique and fresh new twist on it all.
So is there anything that you can tease about what fans can anticipate from seeing them explore these supernatural phenomena? I
think the one thing that is kind of potentially most terrifying about these villains, monsters villains, is that a lot of them have been driven to this point because of really human emotion, and that not to say that they aren't like visually terrifying, they are. Some of them are very, very horrific. But I think the thing that ties them all together is that they've all been driven to that point because of grief or a loss, or this wanting to connect to something that they can't anymore. And without saying how that happens, it does link to the supernatural, and I think that's our kind of underlying theme.
I think that just like myself, people will be sucked in by these cases, and you guys' on-screen chemistry. It's so fun to watch the group. So I just wanted to say again, congrats, and thank you so much for your time. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you
Yeah.
Thank you.
Irregulars.
Take care.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.